welcome to Coaches on a Mission.
Hi, thank you for having me here.
We were joking beforehand that I think this is our fourth or fifth attempt at getting this interview done. You had tech problems, I had tech problems, but we are here, it is happening, and I know it will be well worth the wait. So thanks again for being here. The reason I wanted to invite you on the show was really twofold. Number one, you are a YouTube expert, and I want to know what wisdom you can pass on to our audience to help those coaches who feel nervous about whether or not having a YouTube channel is worthwhile, to help them get started. And then also really to hear from you some of the mindset that's necessary around visibility. Because one thing I think a lot of our listeners share is trepidation around consistently being visible. And you are someone who's really good at that. So if it's okay with you, I'd love to just dive right in.
Yes, sounds perfect.
So can you walk us through some of the main reasons why a coach or an online business owner should consider launching a YouTube channel?
Yeah, for one, YouTube is the second highest search engine, and it's owned by the first highest search engine, Google. So it's a really, really good platform for getting in front of people. And I feel like a lot of people hesitate on it because it is also difficult if you don't know what you're getting into, but it doesn't have to be. And another reason why I go for YouTube when it comes to online coaching is you can attract clients a lot easier through having an arsenal of videos and sharing your expertise.
Can you talk a little bit more about that? So what do you think makes it easier when you have an arsenal of videos?
So when I started my business, you know how you get your testimonials together, you have people in your DMs asking questions. I found it a lot easier to convert because if someone had a question for me to pick my brain, I would have a YouTube video already on that topic. And because YouTube is a culture of binging, they'd find that video, watch the rest of my videos. Not know, like, and trust is established a lot faster than them having to see my stories on Instagram for a while. It's just like automatic. They feel like they know me, which leads to a sell a lot faster.
Right. That makes so much sense. Actually, you and I, before we started recording, you asked me why I started this podcast. And it sounds like it's the same reason. So I started this show because I know the power of experiential marketing. When you hear me in action, you're just going to trust me more. You're going to really understand the value of my work much more than me trying to tell you the value of my work.
Yeah.
But I didn't think about this customer service aspect to this as well. So if someone has a question, instead of giving a short answer in the DMs, you can actually direct them to a very in-depth answer where they're set up to then go and have more questions answered just by the nature of your YouTube channel. That's super smart.
Yeah, it's super helpful because, I see a lot of coaches stepping in and, doing mini trainings in your stories. It could get exhausting after doing it for a while, having to hop on and then do those trainings, and then they disappear in 24 hours. So why not take it somewhere where it's evergreen and you can get more visibility?
Yeah, it's super smart. So you mentioned something, which was it can be overwhelming or it's a lot of work if you don't know what you're getting into. Could you just intro level, stick your toes in the shallow end of the pool? What are some getting started steps for a coach who wants to create a YouTube channel? I'm asking for a friend, Malasia, and that friend is actually myself. So help me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm on it too. So first I would look into why you want to start a YouTube channel. It's really important to make sure you're going onto YouTube for the right reasons, because a lot of people are discouraged by YouTube because it does take a little bit longer to grow. And if that's your main reason, it can lead to just giving up. You have to go in knowing what you're going to make the content on. So you kind of are more connected to that mission and that content versus growing fast, because most times for most people, it's not a fast process if you're starting from scratch. And I would look into your limiting, what is stopping you from starting? Because a lot of people I meet has either always wanted to start a YouTube channel, have started their YouTube channel, are thinking about starting. So I'd look into like what is stopping you. Is it really a factor that is going to be in the way long term, or is it something that is more of a self-limiting belief or fear?
Did you have a limiting belief or fear? Was there something that stopped you from launching your YouTube channel, or was that a simple decision for you to make?
Yeah, I had a few things. I noticed that I said that I didn't have the perfect camera. So I started in high school. I used my school camera and it was
Okay.
perfect. But then I felt ugly on camera. I remember complaining to my video teacher about how I looked. And it was just all kind of things that I could move past, but I was like using external things to kind of cover up what it was going on inside. So I was like, I don't have the right camera. I don't look good on camera. But in reality, like to cover that up, I was saying, oh, it's just like not the right time. Maybe
Right.
when I'm like better on camera, and you just gotta dive right in.
Yeah. Yeah. So was there a process you took yourself through to overcome those fears?
Yes, I'm gonna share a few things you can do if you're also on thinking about starting a YouTube channel for the listeners
Okay.
out there. So first thing I would look into is dissecting and identifying your limiting beliefs versus like facts.
Yeah.
Is it because you really don't have anything to film with, or is it because you feel like what you have to film with isn't good enough? The second
Mhm.
one is a limiting belief. The first one is actually a fact. And then you can look at if something can be done. Most times when I work with people, it's usually a self limiting belief. Like, I
Yeah.
just don't have enough time. I just don't think I look good on camera. So, really look at what the reasons are and dissect if it's fact or if it's just like something that's limiting you. And
Mhm.
then I would look into tracing where those limiting beliefs come from. So for me, I had a limiting belief that, I was really ugly on camera. And no matter how much my friends talked me into doing it, I was like, no, I just can't do it. And I looked at it and I dissected it. And I was bullied in middle school and I was called ugly in middle school. So being in front of a camera just kind of highlighted all my insecurities and just reminded me of like not being like the middle school. I just assumed that I wasn't going to be liked on YouTube. And once I got to dissect that, I then rewrote that and I started to tell myself otherwise. I had to make an effort to feel beautiful and look beautiful. And I had to like tell myself I'm beautiful. So once you figure out those limiting beliefs and you dissect them with fact and everything, I would look into like rewriting those limiting beliefs. A lot
Yeah.
of clients that I work with, their limiting beliefs are just simply they don't have time or they don't think it's gonna get anywhere because they tried once, uploaded a video onto YouTube and it didn't go well. And because of that, they now believe that they just won't do well on YouTube when YouTube is a platform where you have to consistently upload videos to see any type of growth.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. So the listeners here, we are all coaches. So you start talking about limiting beliefs and dissecting that stuff, and you had us at hello. We are down for dissecting limiting
That's my
beliefs.
jammy jam.
And I love that you then connected it to like identify the beliefs, distinguish fact from fiction, rewrite the fiction, right? But then also
Mhm.
take solvable actions. I don't think that's the term I really mean to use, but like take action to reinforce
Yeah.
those new stories that you've written. So,
Yeah.
okay, that's really helpful. All right. You've touched on this a little bit, and I'd love to dig a little bit deeper into like managing expectations. So you mentioned someone uploads a video and it doesn't go well, or if you're on YouTube for the wrong reason, which is growth, you're going to struggle. So how can you share average or realistic expectations for someone who's starting a YouTube channel and they want to use it as a tool to sign clients?
So when it comes to expectations, I find that when you go in without the expectations of blowing up, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Go in and just base it off of your mission. Like, who are you trying to reach? What problem are you trying to solve? Because then the growth really doesn't bother you when you know you're getting to that one person or that group of people that do need you. if I were to look at my subscriber count, I would probably think that what I'm doing isn't significant because it's not as big as this YouTube channel. But you just have to look at, who are you helping and who do you need to get to? And with YouTube, a lot of the time, it takes years and then a channel just blows up. And I know some YouTubers who had previous channels, removed videos from that, started a new channel, and then that channel blew up and everyone's just like, whoa, like they just blew up so fast. And they'll show like for like years, I wasn't really getting any audience. And then, eventually the algorithm picks up their channel through consistency and it just takes off and it never stops in most cases.
Right. Okay. So you mentioned subscriber count.
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of expectations, we've got consistency.
Yeah.
How long? I feel like this is a loaded question and I already know there isn't really an answer, but I'd just love to hear your thoughts around this concept.
Yeah.
So like how long does one give their YouTube channel before, and what metrics other than subscriber count should they look for in order to determine if they're on the right path?
Yeah. Great question. So besides subscriber count, I would morely focus on your reach. Who are you
Okay.
reaching? How are you reaching that audience? How are you titling your videos to make sure that you can get that reach? And marketing and market research to make sure that you're seeing if those videos are in demand, because that's eventually going to get your channel up there. You just have to you have to just keep consistently looking for, what people are looking for. Because if you're making videos based on what you want to do, it's a lot less, it's harder to get to get the algorithm picking you up because you want to like have videos people are searching, but make it into
Got
your
it.
own.
Got it. So for our coaches listening, I'm going to translate this a little bit because inside the Hive, my coaching program, we start with market research and really ensuring that our message is not our coacherson words, and instead the language of our target audience. So what I hear you saying here is when it comes down to the topics that I choose, but also the keywords and the title of my video, I want to make sure that those titles match the words my target audience would use when they're looking something up.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay. So yes, subscriber count is whatever, but I can also look at my reach. And if I see my reach consistently going up, what that tells me then is that the keywords and the titles I'm using are on track.
Yeah, that means that they're working and you should continue to use them.
Got it.
Yeah.
So what do you use in order to track client attraction with your YouTube channel? Like, is there any metric that you track or any funnel that you follow to be able to really tell, yes, this person who just hired me came from my YouTube channel?
Yeah, usually it's those people that like to pick my brain in my DMs. I'll send them like a video and then they're just like, "Well, I love your channel." And then like they'll ask me questions like, "So, what services do you offer?" And then sometimes it's just like I have like a funnel system where from my YouTube channel, I take them to my private Facebook group. So I have a lot of subscribers in my private Facebook group and I sell more inside of a private Facebook group because YouTube doesn't really react well to the sell culture. And then through my Facebook group, people will like join in and they don't have to really have to see me do trainings and stuff to know that I'm legit and what I have to offer is valuable because they're watching my channel.
Got it. So you're really just leaning into this experiential marketing and then giving folks somewhere to go to take it further. I love that you use your YouTube channel as a platform in the DMs. That's so super smart. So tell me what your favorite thing about being a YouTuber is.
My favorite thing about being a YouTuber is the creative freedom that comes with it. There's so many ways to deliver content and it's fun experimenting with that. And you can I'm really multi-passionate. So when I first started YouTube, I think one of my biggest obstacles was picking a niche. And when it comes to YouTube content, you could kind of mesh your passions together. Like if you're really good at makeup, you can do your makeup while giving advice. It doesn't have to be you sitting down and doing like a training. You could be doing your training while cooking and, doing your training while also, showing your outfit of the day. There's so many ways to get that message out there. And being multi-passionate, it's just perfect for me.
Right. You really love that. So what
Mm-hmm.
was the process that you went through in order to pick your niche?
So for me, I actually have like this the signature way of figuring out your niche. I'll share some of it
Uh-huh.
here.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah. So you want to first look into what your passions are. What can you talk about forever? What are you good
Yeah.
at? Your talents. And then you want to ask yourself, what problem do you want to see solved in the world? Most likely you're going to really enjoy making content on that thing. I mean, if you're a coach that wants to like bring your brand onto YouTube, your niche would probably be your coaching niche. But if you want to like separate that, I would look into your passions, what problem that you really want to solve in the world, and just connecting to that makes it really fun to make
Yeah.
YouTube videos because through your videos, you're solving that problem yourself.
I have a feeling that a lot of the coaches listening might feel worried that like, what am I going to do? Just look into the camera and be a talking head. And what you just inspired for me was, yeah, you can be an expert. If you're a weight loss coach for perimenopausal women, let's say I had a conversation with a weight loss coach this morning, who just joined the Hive. You could share your expertise, but if you also love macrame, you can be making macrame as you share your expertise. Or if, like you said, if you love makeup, you can apply your makeup as you're teaching. So find a different or a unique way to deliver your message so that you don't worry that you just sound like everybody else and you're contributing to the noise.
Yeah. And then something else I really love about being a YouTuber is it really differentiates myself in the market of coaches because not many people are on YouTube. I take my audience with me to my personal life. I do my makeup while giving tips. You really get a sense of personally knowing me because I open up a lot on my YouTube channel and in a way that most like professionals don't open up. For a sense of relativity, if that's a word, relatability, so my audience feels like they're not alone in their struggles.
Yeah.
And
So they
I
really
think that's
feel like
really
they're
appreciated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Something I'm getting from what you share here is the importance of being like authentically you and maybe letting go of I'm using air quotes here for our listeners of doing it right and instead really doing it your way because that's how you build the trust.
Yeah, I feel like we're in an era where a lot of content that's doing well on YouTube is just authenticity. The more real you are, the better your channel has a chance of growing. I feel like we're in a stage in life where a lot of people are valuing honesty. A lot of people would rather watch a TikToker tell it how it is in like, in their PJs and just like no filter than to have someone like try to make it perfect. A lot of people are seeking to be seen and to be heard and to feel like they're not alone in things. And YouTube is a perfect place to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that. Okay, so for the coach listening, they've explored their limiting beliefs around what's really stopping them from launching a YouTube channel. If you were to give them like 1 to 3 simple getting started steps, what would those steps be? Other than following your YouTube channel and joining your Facebook group to really learn how to do this, how might someone get started?
So, first step is to figure out your niche. Make sure it's something you're actually passionate about. Make sure it's something that you actually enjoy because YouTube is a long haul. YouTube is a journey. It's not a quick win. And if it's not enjoyable, you're going to end up quitting and ghosting the channel, and then it'll all be for nothing. Yeah. And then the second step to that is really creating a plan with starting your YouTube channel and setting a deadline. Something I personally went through is not having a deadline and saying, like this year I'm going to start my YouTube channel. This summer I'm going to start. Next summer I'm going to start. And it wasn't until I actually said, I'm going to start first day of September, put a deadline on it. Then it was more real. Then it was like, okay, let me like get this together. Let me like start these first steps of starting. It's really important to put a deadline because it's really easy to procrastinate starting a YouTube channel because thinking about it can be overwhelming because, those self-limiting beliefs may come up. So really creating a deadline and also having a plan for that deadline. So if your deadline is by autumn, I'm going to start this YouTube channel, have like a step system, like a step plan on how you're going to do that. Like, what's the first thing you're going to do? When are you going to make your thumbnail? What day are you going to not thumbnail, channel banner? When are you going to make your channel banner? When are you going to create your intro if you want an intro? When are you going to film your first video? When are you going to edit your first video? Having that plan set out. So when you do start that day that you set that deadline on, it's not so overwhelming to where you feel like you have to do everything at once. And that's what I really help with inside of my programs is making sure like everything is step by step. It flows. It's easy. It's not overwhelming. Because if you just like say by the end of this day, like by the end of this week, I'm going to start a channel. There's a lot that goes into starting a channel and you just got to dissect it.
Yeah. So once the channel is launched, what is the routine or what is the structure that you follow in order to stay consistent shooting more videos?
Great question. I love to sit down and do a content brainstorm at the beginning of the month, well, at the end of the month. So then I know what I'm going to upload for the next month. I'll just like write out like what I personally want to talk about, and then I'll do market research to see what people are looking for, and I'll store the ones that I really want to do, and I'll try to find a way to really title it that goes with the market research. If it's something that isn't, being searched, I'll just like rephrase the words. Because sometimes you have to just like tell people, you have to lure them in what they want to hear and then really just like tell them what they need to know. So doing the market research, content brainstorming is the first thing that I do. And then the second thing, after doing that, I really like to pick a day out of the week to film batch.
Yep.
And then I pick like a couple days out of a week to video edit for like a couple of hours. Sometimes I'll outsource to a video editor, but for some videos, it's really easy for me to edit it because I've been editing for years. And then I'll pre-upload sometimes just so I can like have that done in advance. And I upload twice a week now because I feel like if you upload twice a week, you have like a better shot at growing. Because like just looking at the competition and how the algorithm is working, I feel like a lot of people upload once a week, but to upload twice a week, you give your channel a chance at like accumulating that content so YouTube can see that you're serious and push your channel out a lot faster.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so carving out time at the end of every month to identify what it is you want to talk about. And then you stack that list of what you want to talk about up against the market research to see like where things align and what you need to change around the messaging so that it's searchable.
Yeah.
Then it sounds like you're filming, you said batch. So are you filming 8 videos in a day? Like how many videos are you able to crank out?
I would not be.
Can you imagine?
Especially in this heat. Oh, no. Honestly, I want to say that I do 5 videos, but I do like 2 videos every session. So I'll record 2 videos. And then, going back to delivery, I've been looking at ways to make delivering content more consistently easier. So I have like other ways of like filming where I don't even have to get in front of a camera. I have like an exclusive podcast only on my YouTube channel. So when it comes to that, I can record a lot more and it's not as hot because the ring light isn't in my face. And then some of it is just like a voiceover with stock footage. So, just get really creative on like uploading more. You don't have to like always like get in front of the camera and do it a certain way. It could be really easy to film if you just find the way that works for you.
Yeah. Okay. That's really helpful because I think there's this myth that batch shooting is the only way to do it. And when you batch shoot, you're making like a month's worth of content in half an hour. And that is garbage. So it's really refreshing to hear you share that like not every video needs to be face to camera, and realistically if you can knock out 2 face to camera videos in a sitting, you're doing really well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and recently I found out like I love my DSLR, but something I really want to like a tip that I really want to give is make the process as easy as you can because the easier to process, the more likely you're going to continue to do it. So if you
Yeah.
were to like give yourself that expectation of filming like 8 videos in one sitting, you're going to
Forget it.
hate it. You're not going to want to be on YouTube. And I feel like some
Yeah.
people go into it putting in all this overwhelm and all of this expectation of what it like how it needs to be done and then the experience is bad and you just don't want to upload anymore where if you were to look at like what ways could be easier you can actually poop out a lot more content. I recently found out that I love making videos on my phone. And I have like a personal vlog diary where I will vlog to myself and like share moments in my life. And just so I can look back on it. And if I ever want to
Yeah.
share those moments with my audience, I can at least like pull into it and like put it in a piece of content. So I was like in my back, a lot of the time I'm doing my diary vlog. I'll find areas that I didn't even realize were really great to film. I was doing my vlog, my diary vlog, and doing my makeup. And it was when I was doing that, I realized, why don't I just do this for YouTube? And it's the easiest way to film because I'm getting ready and I'm talking, and it actually does the best. Like, it's a way for my audience to get to know me more. And it's just like a laid back style, but it's so easy to just like put my camera up and just like talk to them like they're my friends instead of getting the DSLR, getting the ring light, getting my mic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think what I'm hearing you say is authenticity and consistency matter way more than your professional setup.
Yeah. I think it
Yeah.
does a lot better on YouTube. Once your channel takes off, I think that's more appreciated right now. Is just
Yeah.
being real. A lot of people crave more realness. They want to know like the real inside scoop. They don't want to just like, I mean, those videos are helpful when you're like being professional, but I think a lot of people are craving to just feel like they're talking to their friend. Like
Mhm.
you know, that's what really garners trust when it comes to know, like, and trust. It's just like feeling like, there's no facade put up and like it's not just like about educating, it's about us being together and like, chatting about it.
Yeah, totally. Do you ever worry that I know I get this concern expressed to me often. Do you ever
Yeah.
worry about like giving too much away on your YouTube channel? And then why would anyone ever want to get into my programs? Because if they can just binge my YouTube content.
No, I did in the beginning when I first started coaching. But what I realized is, when it comes to YouTube, I do give out all my secrets on my YouTube channel. But in terms of support and having
Yeah.
that step by step, that's what you're getting in my programs. It's not overwhelming. You don't have to like search through my YouTube videos to try to find the answers. It's like everything is given to you step by step. You get my support. You can ask questions versus on my YouTube channel, it's just like I'm just like throwing out content and you just got to put everything together.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. And I think often what our clients and students invest in is the container,
Yeah.
right? Is the support and is the ease, right? So you nailed it there. Oh, I
Yeah.
think I just might launch a YouTube channel, Malaysia.
It'll be so exciting. I'm here for it.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We have
Thank you for
linked
having me.
to all of your places in the show notes. So I want to encourage everybody to connect with Malaysia. Send her a DM, and then she will send you a YouTube video that answers your question. And then you will
Yes.
be in her world.
Another great thing is like sometimes I'll get questions and I'll think to myself, I didn't make a video, but I'm going to make a video. And it's just like, it's just so many benefits. Like now you have ideas. I get like ideas from my Facebook group. Like they'll like share what they're
Yeah.
struggling with. And it's like, that's a great way to make content. It's just to see what your clients need and like what your leads are asking.
Yep, completely. Such a great idea. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. This was, like I said at the top, this meeting was a long time coming and it definitely was worth the wait. Thank you for
Yeah.
inspiring us today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Go start that YouTube channel.